All right, so you might notice something a little bit different today. I am not out in the garden. I am inside with the books. And that is because today I'm going to be taking you through everything I got in terms of seeds for this new year. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing and showing you all of my favorite seeds, especially the best performing varieties. So first up, I've got some varieties that I got from Botanical Interest. I just love the way they box these up. Not important to how the seeds grow, but anyway, it's kind of fun. So here we go. What do we got here? Oh, a seed starting guide. It always comes with this, so I guess that's worthwhile. If you are going to be ordering, you might as well get the seed starting guide and have that to put in your pocket, put in your gardening bag. So number one, spaghetti squash. This grows really well in our area. The squash bugs don't seem to be bothered by it. And I kind of thought I was done growing spaghetti squash because my family doesn't really like it that much. And I don't think you should grow things that you're not going to eat. But my parents just retired nearby. My mom loves spaghetti squash. I have a really good friend who actually put a lot of helpful tips and knowledge into my gardening book, if you want to check that out. And she loves spaghetti squash. So I'm going to grow these for her as a thank you. What else? These are the Kiranishiki kabocha squash. They just looked really neat and interesting. I always like trying new squashes because I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment and I like battling the squash bugs. But no, seriously, I love squashes because they're so easy to store. You just set them out to cure and then they're good to go for sometimes months, sometimes even up to like a year at a time. And for me, the less preserving I have to do, the better. So that I just really like to grow all the different kinds of squashes. So moving on, in the squash and gourd family, I got black cat pumpkin and Casperita pumpkin. These are both small black and white pumpkins. They're tiny, but the plants are big, so they will take up a lot of space, but the pumpkins that they grow will be small. I just think these would be so fun. The kids can maybe paint faces on them and to use as decoration. So those will be decorative, beautiful, and edible. So that's kind of a bonus, right? You can cure them, store them by using them as a decoration and then eat them up as you go. Doesn't like a nice edible decoration. More along the lines of edible decoration are these Howden pumpkins. So I have grown a bunch of different jack-o'-lantern type pumpkins in the past, but I haven't grown this carving pumpkin, and I think this one's going to be really fun. It's supposed to be, the perfect ideal carving pumpkin. So we're going to try that one out. Loofahs. I am going to go for the loofahs again this year. Last year, I started these seeds. They took kind of a while to germinate, but I just didn't start them soon enough. So I need to get them going really quickly. What happened is I put them outside. They really love heat. They want a long growing season. But the ones that I planted outside, they just weren't big enough yet. They didn't really grow. Something came along and like munched the tops off of them. It it was kind of tragic, actually. So super excited about them, but I will not be deterred. We're gonna get loofahs this year for sure. We'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. Is that it for pumpkins? Nope, we got more pumpkins. Okay, these, I don't know how to say this. Galudicines. I don't just read that one. This pumpkin looks so fun. I kind of like the ugly, warty pumpkins. This says it makes a stunning table centerpiece. It's supposed to be supremely sweet and flavorful. We'll try that one out. Moving on, what else did I get? That was fun. Ooh, okay. I love this Toy Choy Bok Choy variety. It's one of those things you can grow. You can start it in the cold, but it's a green that is not going to bolt in the heat. It's actually really heat tolerant, so I can plant this throughout the summer, succession. So plant them all, harvest, plant some more, wait a few weeks, plant some more, wait a few weeks, plant some more. So we should be able to have continual stir fries. These are good steamed, but I really think they taste a lot better with some of those Asian flavors like garlic, soy, some citrus, some red pepper in there, dash of sesame oil. Delicious. Oh, here, this is kind of fun. This is the thank you of mesclun lettuce that you get every time you do order from Botanical Interest. So if you are going to order some, no, you're getting at least a little bonus of the lettuce seeds. These grow really great, obviously, except in the super high heat of the summer. Even if it is the hot of the summer, if you have a patch that's like shaded or maybe beneath something on the north side of something that's really tall, it will create shade during the heat of the day. You can think about planting it there. Maybe it won't bolt for you. For us, it gets so hot in our climate that it's going to bolt at the height of summer regardless, but we can still grow, beginning and then the shoulder season, spring and fall. I would love to see how everything grows in your garden. Let me know if there's a tried and true variety that you plant. I would love to know about it. I always love to know what works really well for other people because otherwise I'm just kind of reading what's on the packet and that is meant to sell you on the seeds anyway. So if there's something you love, please, please, please leave that in the comments. What else do we have in this package? I'm trying this new melon. It's called Sweet Delight. I just saw it and thought it looked good. I wanted a honeydew. I saved some seeds from our other honeydew. What was it called? I don't remember, but I do have some seed saved. So I'm gonna try a little taste test from mystery variety that I saved the seeds from and this new one because who doesn't want a sweet delight of melon? Moving on. Okay, shishito peppers. These did super well for me last year, which I was very excited about because it's so fun to just pick the peppers off and then you just fry them up and have them for a quick summer meal. That's so nice to be able to just fry them up in the summer. They're not super hot. These actually were kind of hot, the ones I grew. I don't know if these will be hot too. So nice for a quick meal in the summer. Last three things in here from what I got in the mail from Botanical Interests. I've got a pineapple whole tomato. I wanted to have some tall tomatoes. We put in the trellises to be able to have some things grow up the trellises. So I thought this would be kind of fun. And I liked the name of this one and the look of it. It says it's a taste test winner. So we'll see. I didn't have enough fresh eating tomatoes last summer. So I threw this one in the cart just because it looked fun. And a lot of people I have heard really love this bumblebee tomato. It's kind of like a cherry tomato, maybe like a little bit bigger than a regular cherry tomato. I didn't love the golden cherry tomatoes we got last year, so I wanted to try something different. People have been very positive about this one. And then I also got a tomato, another pole variety, this Cherokee purple, just to have some variety in there. I have a bunch more tomatoes in the bag. This is just the surface. So these are everything that I ordered from Botanical Interest that I couldn't buy from the local nursery. So I actually I have like three or four favorites around here that I go to. They all carry a little bit of different stuff. I thought maybe I would be able to buy everything I wanted in store, but these are the varietals that I knew I wanted from Botanical Interest, but they didn't carry them at our local nursery. So I ordered them and paid the shipping to get them from Botanical Interest. Okay. Let's see what I have in my little shopping bag. So this is again the fruit of shopping and unbagging more than an unboxing, really, because I bought them at the nursery. I want to support the local businesses. So here, speaking of supporting local business, here's the seeds that I got on Amazon. No, I went to the local businesses and then to my favorite seed companies, and then these ones I ordered on Amazon are the ones that I couldn't get there. So unfortunately, the Snapdragon seeds that I wanted are already sold out on Botanical Interest. Good for you, Botanical Interest. So I got my Snapdragons from Amazon. They're supposed to be beautiful, these like goldeny pink stalks. I'm excited about those. And then I got 3,000 Scarlet Nantes. Is that what I planted? Yeah, Scarlet Nantes carrots. These were amazing for us last year. It was my best carrot year ever. It is March and we are still eating off the carrots. We just left them in the ground because our ground doesn't freeze here in Idaho, and especially not this last year. It was really mild. So we're still eating the carrots that we planted last summer and getting ready to plant more of these Scarlet Nantes. They're delicious. They're super sweet, especially after a frost. So highly, highly recommend those. There's 3,000 seeds in this packet. I've tried all of the ways of germinating carrots. I've tried the board, the burlap, all the things. Honestly, over sowing is the only thing that did it. So I got 3,000 carrot seeds, and that's what made it happen for us. That's Amazon. Now, you'll notice there's a lot of botanical interests, and then I also have this local company, Snake River Seed Cooperative. So these are seeds that are grown locally here in our area. And what that does is for us, I know that this is going to grow really well in my area, but not only that, there's just a slight competitive genetic advantage. This is why it's a good idea to save your own seeds even, because your seeds will be adapted to your specific, not just your region, but your specific microclimate. So if you're saving, that is heirloom seeds, not hybrid seeds. Sometimes I like to have the hybrid because I like the benefits or the pest resistance, and I'll just keep buying those seeds over and over again. But if you can save your seeds, gosh, it just saves so much money. They're adapted to your specific area. So I think there's a lot of benefit to doing that. So this is the Oregon Sugar Pea Pod. I also got some Sugar Daddies, which we already planted, so I don't have the packet to show you, but those are from Botanical Interest. So I got the Sugar Daddies. These are both shorter varieties, and then I got one variety. I'll have to look for the packet to add maybe a picture in or something later, but the other variety grows to be like 5 foot tall. So I wanted to see how that looks on the trellises. They have these 3 foot varieties. If you're growing on a patio, container garden, you can grow these peas. They're more compact and they'll still give you an abundant harvest. Butter lettuce is my absolute favorite kind of lettuce. It just feels like luxury in your mouth. Marketmore is our absolute favorite cucumber variety. It's good for fresh eating. It's really prolific. It's good for pickling. So Marketmore has always done really, really well for us. I'm doing the Cal Wonder sweet peppers again this year. I haven't had a lot of luck with peppers in the past, so maybe don't take my advice about peppers, but I've heard that other people say these grow really well for them, so I don't think it's the pepper, I think it's the gardener. Jalapenos. I grew a bajillion different types of peppers last year, and I think this year I'm just gonna focus on jalapenos and banana peppers because I love, 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 love pickled peppers. So rather than grow a bunch of different varieties, I thought I'd just focus on growing a lot more of our favorites to can for throughout the winter. Because I didn't have enough pumpkins and squashes already, I don't have enough space to plant all of these things. I don't know. Does anybody else buy way more seeds than you have area to plant? It's called red warty thing. How could you not? And for 10 to 15 foot vine, you get 1 to 2 fruits. So that seems practical. We should definitely grow that. It just looks so fun. I'm going back to growing these Waltham butternut squashes. They do really well in our area. This is from that Snake River Seed Cooperative. The butternut squashes that I tried to grow last year, the honey nut squashes, they're smaller. They didn't do that well. They're supposed to be vine borer resistant, but as far as I know, we've never had vine borer, and I don't think that we even have vine borer in Idaho. So I'm just going back to the butternut squashes that produced really well for us in the last 3 years because I didn't grow these last year and I regretted it. I did not like the honey nut squash for our area. These are super cute. Cucamelons. They're like little tiny watermelons with a cucumber-ish flavor. They looked cute and irresistible, so I had to try. I thought the kids would like them. More tomatillos for green salsa. I really liked these last year. They grew really well. I adore watermelon radishes. For a while, because of my autoimmune disorder, I had to be full paleo. Like I couldn't even have corn chips, not just gluten-free. So these were a great These were an acceptable substitute for tortilla chips and corn chips. I just grew to really like them and I want to have them around anyway. They're pretty big as far as the radish goes, which is a huge bonus in my book because I don't like slicing up those really, really tiny things. So this you get the crunch and the freshness of the radish. You can use it to dip in guacamole is kind of my favorite way to eat it. So I'm excited to have these big, big radishes this year. Actually, I should plant those. What else do we have? Speaking of things I should have already planted, we've got the early wonder beet. I wanted to get something that would produce pretty quickly because I want to be able to try to maximize what I can grow in my spring and then get the spring stuff out and put the summer crops in, which for us comes in about mid-May. So I wanted that to happen, pretty quickly. So I got the early variety of beets. Nasturtium, if you do have that same squash bug issue that I have, first of all, solidarity. It's going to be okay. We can do this. And also, nasturtiums are a really great plant to distract them. It kind of is a deterrent a little bit from them devouring your squash plants. So, what else do we have here? A couple of fun beans. I got this yard long whole bean Orient Wonder. I got it because I thought that the kids would be really impressed. They're supposed to be yard long. Actually, it says most tender at 12 to 18 inches long, which is still a giant bean that I think the kids will go, whoa, and I think that will be fun. Um, Mostly that's why I got them for the wow factor. And then I got a few more of these Kentucky Wonder Beans. These are an heirloom. I hope I like the way these grow and I'll save these. I got purple pole beans last year because I thought that it would be easier to harvest because we would see them growing up and they would be purple. And then it's kind of fun because when you cook them, they're purple, but then they turn green. So I was going to tell the kids they were like magic beans, but they actually didn't grow as well as I would have hoped. So I just got a regular tried and true variety this year, Kentucky Wonder. So I'm really hoping this just is super prolific and it says it has good production even in hot climates, which we definitely have a lot of the heat. So we'll just see how that experiment goes because we didn't have enough pumpkins. No, these are seriously the best pumpkins that I have ever planted, though. These are sugar pie pumpkins. They grow super well here. We always get the most pumpkins on any vine from these sugar pies. They do really well. They seem to not be too bothered by the squash bugs. I'm very vigilant about murdering as many as I can, daily, but just to protect them. But these grow really, really well. So I highly recommend getting some kind of sugar pie pumpkin. Last year we grew peaches and cream, sweet corn. It was terrible. The corn, I mean, I don't know how it tasted. They didn't do well enough for us to taste them. I'm terrible at growing corn. This variety, honestly, is just because that's the variety my daughter picked. Because at this point, I'm not going to be too particular about the corn because it's so tough. It's I'm the worst, and I keep reading in these gardening books that corn is like the easiest thing to grow. So it's really done wonders for my self-esteem as a gardener. Acorn squash. Okay, these are great because they don't even need to be cured. So just saying, if you're really, really, really lazy, acorn squash might be the way to go. What else do we have here? Oh, I got these hatch green chilies this year. I'm super excited about these. My parents lived in New Mexico for a number of years, and we all became very addicted to green chili stew. So I'm really, really excited about that. I grew Hale's Jumbo last year. This is Heart of Gold cantaloupe. I just love to try out different melon varieties and see what happens with those. This is one of my tried and true. This is Supremo bush tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that I plant for sauces and things like that. So the reason to plant Roma in general is just because they don't have as much moisture in them, so it doesn't take as long to cook them up. I still have some bagged up in the freezer to make sauce with from last summer. I really recommend Supremo. They were very productive. They were not fussy tomatoes. So I recommend those. And then I got this beefsteak pole tomato. It's an heirloom and I just like the idea of having the tomatoes on the pole. I've grown bush varieties in the past and I want to try to grow some taller, vining, vigorous varieties and see how they grow, see what they do here. There are other varieties that we're going to plant. I saved seeds from our okra. I saved our watermelon seeds. They did really well last year, so I saved those. What else do I have saved? I had quite a few things saved. What did I buy for flower seeds? I got lots of zinnias. I got State Fair zinnias. I got these Senora zinnias just because I really like the color. I think that these will look great with those orangish snapdragons that I got. And I already have tons of calendula. That is the pot marigold. That's yellow. That's going to reseed itself. We've already got bachelor's buttons reseeding. We've got the borage reseeding, that's like a little blue edible flower. It tastes like cucumbers. The bees love it. I have some lavender going in the back that will come back again. I hope it produces flowers. We didn't get flowers last summer because it was the first summer I transplanted them. And so I'm hoping, and I probably will just put in more lavender because I really want to see some. What else do we have? Uh, oh, I got cut and come again zinnias. I just love the zinnias. And then the alyssum smells super great. It helps with pest control. It's just an all-around awesome flower. This will reseed itself through the season, so you get more and more. They also have a purple variety too. I didn't see that when I was shopping, so I didn't pick one of those up, but I probably will pick something up, either one that I start myself or one that's already started. Anyway, I hope that this seed haul has given you a lot to think about. This is what we're going to be planting. If you want to follow along and see how these things grow, how to cultivate them, how we start the seeds indoors, how we keep them in the greenhouse, how we care for the plants, how we plant, all of that, obviously, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope this has helped you grow where you're planted. See you next time.